Boy, oh boy, as fate would have it, I'd like to call it a God shot. Ben Hebert joins us, one half of the Benny and Bo Show, Olympic champion curler from Team Koe. How are you doing, Ben?
Good, Roddy. Thanks for having me, buddy. Yeah, welcome to Cowtown. Good to see you.
It's beautiful. I forgot how beautiful it is. This is home for you now, isn't it?
Yeah, buddy. I've been here since like 06. I was thinking even this morning, I was saying, man, I've been here a long time. Because I knew you were going to give me a hard time about cheering for the Stamps or the Riders or who I'm cheering for. But
hey, I get it.
Yeah, I've been here for a while and made some good friends here. And yeah, I love it here. It's pretty much home now.
Well, okay. So one of those friends is number 19 for the Calgary Stampeders, Levi Mitchell. Maybe before we go any further, explain your relationship with him, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, so me and Bo have a mutual sponsor, ATB Financial. Been with my curling team for 6 years, and they'd sponsored Bo and done a bunch of stuff with Jordan Eberle, Nugent Hopkins, Mark Giordano, and we used to do a bunch of events together. All the athletes, they'd get us together, and met Bo a couple of years ago, and we were similar-ish age. I got him by a few, but he's got a wife, young kids, same as myself, and we ended up just chatting one night at a dinner, and he said, "Oh, I live out in Chestermere." I said, "Oh, so do I." And then we found out it was, we live about a 7-iron away from each other. 7-iron for him, probably like a 5-iron for me.
Right.
So he loves to play golf. And then last year with the seasons getting shut down, we played a lot of golf together, trained together when the gyms were shut down. And just became buddies. And then, somehow someone got word that we were friends and wanted to do a podcast for this Uninterrupted Canada out of Toronto. They called us. We've been doing a little podcast for them, getting some good athletes on the show and shooting the breeze. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, it's funny, though. It's the Bo and Benny show. They wouldn't have given you guys a show if they didn't know how opinionated and outspoken you both are. You got the camera on him? He's smiling just as I said. You sent me a link to your show the other day. I already knew what you guys have been doing. I don't want to hear these interviews with the other people. I want to hear what you two have to say.
Well, we do have strong opinions, but I also, my favorite thing about talking to other athletes, whether it be Bo or other athletes you meet, I like to hear what they have to say.
True.
So for me, I have my strong opinions. I know what I think. I like hearing these other stories of other athletes, how they got to where they've got to. And, we've been really fortunate over our, 9 or 10 shows that we've done. We've had some amazing guests. I've got to chat to people I never thought I'd be able to talk to. So, Doug Flutie came on the show. He was like my childhood hero of the CFL, right? Football. And Kyle Lowry came on. We got to chat to him. Milos, Penny, a lot of stuff around the Olympics. It's been a lot of fun. So, no, it's been good. I don't know where it's going to go. I have no idea, to be honest with you. Bo getting busy with football and obviously my curling firing up. So we'll see. But we got a few more shows in the tank.
Well, good for you. It's the Benny and Bo show. And so further to that, you kind of hinted when you strolled in here, Ric Flair style this morning, took your shades off, that you knew Bo was going to be playing this week. I got that sense that you knew that.
Yeah, I just knew because I talked to him last night. I wasn't, I wasn't going to Twitter with it or anything like that. But I saw him last night, and he said his leg was feeling good, and he's excited to get back out there. And obviously, they've been struggling a little bit, so I know he wants to get back in there. And I saw an interview he did yesterday. Actually, he said, and I agree. I've been watching their backup there, Jake the Snake. He's been looking pretty good. He's playing some good football. I don't think he's been the reason for them not winning games, but I think to have the veteran presence of Bo and kind of his winning mentality and aura that goes with that of, winning at all costs. Him and Dave have a good record here in Calgary, and they kind of going to get that swagger back. And you know how it is in sports. I certainly know how it is playing even with curling. Like when you're confident, things happen and you feel, untouchable. And confidence comes from winning. And if you're not winning, you kind of got to grind and find that one, whether it's one win or 2 wins in a row to kind of get that little swagger going. And I think the Stamps are maybe missing that right now. And I'll tell you one thing, Bo's not short of swagger, so hopefully he can bring that to the boys.
Well, and I'm obviously going to ask you about Bo, and you had said on the phone the other day that if circumstances were a little different, maybe he'd have been sitting down here on this show today. But as a curler, you're a professional athlete, right? You're not amateur status anymore, right?
Well, I think we're amateur in the sport world, but I think as far as the curling world goes, if you look at the top teams, we would certainly be one of the top pro teams for sure.
But we're
classified as an amateur sport.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Well, we're in the Olympic Games.
Yeah, but so are NHL players.
We're the only ones.
Right. Fair.
Right.
I guess can I say it's a gray area then? I don't know. And my point is, Bo goes on the 6-game injured list with a broken leg, and I thought it was dangling from his knee. Like, oh my God. 3 weeks later, he's playing, or 4. And then you got Carson Wentz in Indy, for instance, who had a foot injury in training camp. They say 12 weeks, he's gone. He's starting this week. So is it miraculous recovery for what you guys have available to you now, or just fake news in the media?
No, I don't know. I know Bo had a broken leg for sure. It was funny. After they lost their first game, we all went to his first game here against Toronto. He looked great their first few drives, threw 2 touchdowns. There was a PI
On a broken leg.
No,
he was healthy then?
He broke it
in
the
that game.
series after that. And, then things went a bit squirrely for the Stamps that game. But we actually had to shoot our pod the very next day. So we wheeled into my basement where we have it. And he was limping hard. And I was like, dude, he goes, oh, man, my calf. They did an MRI. They did an X-ray, but it was so swollen they couldn't see the bone. So he thought he just had a sore calf, and do it out. All those guys play on massive pain, man.
Yeah.
Hockey, the movies of the program, and all these football movies where guys get shot up to play. I don't think that's a rumor. Like, guys are tough.
They're admitting it now.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Guys want to play, man, and so
Yeah.
he tried it out, and I think he wouldn't come back this time. I don't think he was healthy. I think he understands that his health is probably more important than coming back and not playing good, playing at 50% or 40% on a broken leg. So, yeah, I'm excited to watch him play, and I hope he does well.
But here's the thing. We've got Stampeders fans writing into the show, Benny, and they're saying the Stamps' problems aren't at the quarterback position. Is Bo a guy that, with him leading them onto the field and commanding the huddle, that everybody gets inspired? Like, why is it so important to have him come back, which seems a little early?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you look at any sport team, to have your leader there, your captain, Steve Yzerman or whoever it may be, Wayne Gretzky, just having that presence in the room. And that's who Bo Levi Mitchell is for the Stampeders. He's been that guy for years. And so I think having that confidence, like you say, to get that swagger out there, he's one guy that can bring that. Not everybody can bring that. There's a lot of guys that just go out there and do their job, and there's guys that do extra things. And, he's one of the guys that does that extra stuff for the Stamps. And I think they need that right now. They're struggling. And they're going to go and play look to me last week like a pretty good Edmonton team. So we'll see what happens.
398 yards for Trevor Harrison here in the Labor Day Classic and 4 touchdowns. And before we move on to talk about some other thing, you are of the belief that Bo Levi Mitchell gets a bad rap from his critics, personally or professionally?
Well, professionally, no. I think that how does he get a bad rap?
You can't.
He just got named the best QB of the decade.
Yes.
I saw.
Of course. I voted for him, by the way.
That's a pretty good rap. I mean, he earned it. But, I never got to see him play last year. Like, we spent a year being buds, getting to know him behind the scenes, running this podcast stuff before I ever got to see him on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, I just know Bo more off the field, hanging out with his wife and, being a good husband and raising his 2 daughters and being a dad. I see, obviously, when me and him are golfing, the competitive side and the American cocky swagger that comes out. But, hey, guess what? I love that. I like that. That's how I am too. So it's kind of why we're buddies. It jives well. It's good stuff.
But I don't know if I'm saying you're being humble or you're hiding some things, but on the phone the other day, you said to me, if you want to say he's a jerk on the field, fine, he probably is. But off the field, he's the best guy in the world. But I wouldn't know that. Well, I've never met the guy.
I think anybody that gets to that level of their sport, I don't care if it's Bo being the best quarterback in the CFL or NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, all those guys have a different, mindset or something about them of the way they need to be on the field. The way they need. Look at did you watch the Michael Jordan documentary?
Twice.
Yeah, dude. Well, how do you think Michael Jordan was? So when you watch that stuff, people are like, oh, bad rap. I'm like, guys, that's the winning mentality.
The winners
that's how winners do it. And that's what you do. And I don't see a lot of guys that do it without it. Look at Tom Brady. Did you watch that game last night?
Of course.
He's ridiculous.
It's the only time I cheer against him because I'm a Dallas fan.
God.
No, I'm a Dallas fan.
I know, but he's ridiculous.
He's ridiculous.
He's ridiculous. He's just giving all of us older athletes hope that we can just continue to play at a high level forever. So I do like that. I'm a big Tom Brady fan. And yeah, anyways, he's like that as well. And I think that's what you need. So yeah, off the field, I'm sure all those guys are great guys.
So do you envision a day that Bo Levi Mitchell comes on this show?
On your show?
Yeah.
I don't know. He told me, he said, Rod just uses my name for clicks because he knows my name's bigger than his. That's kind of.
He said that.
Oh yeah,
does he believe it?
Absolutely. Well, you believe it too, so you have to believe it, right? But if he sat in here and we were talking about sports, he's a good dude. I know obviously you were covering the Riders, dominating the West for 10 years with the Stamps. There was a rivalry there, so obviously there's going to be some natural hatred. But I only know him from not being a stamp hater or rider hater is the normal dude. He's like any other athlete I've met, really good person.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
That's right.
So what's the curling scene for you and your Team Koe?
Yeah, well, we fire up here in 2 weeks, our first event in Okotoks. So obviously big event, big year for us, Olympic trials in Saskatoon at the end of November. So everything just kind of leading up to then. We're playing Swift Current, Penticton, couple Grand Slams, one in Oakville, Ontario, one in my hometown here, Chestermere, Alberta, just outside of Calgary. So that's going to be sweet. So we'll have a lot of little hometown action there. And then big event in November. Hopefully we can peak at the right time and play great that week in Saskatoon at what's it called? The SaskTel Center now? They changed the name, eh? So we're there for a week and round robin, winner take all. My guess is probably 4 or 5, maybe long shot, 6 teams have a chance to win. The men's side's really deep, very deep. So whoever gets hot for a week, head off to China for the Olympics in February. Hope it can be us, but we'll have to play great, get a bunch of breaks, and see how it goes.
That's the big one. But you told me once that you love those cash spiels, the big ones in Saskatchewan, because you guys are rock stars when you go into Yorkton or wherever, right? And stuff. But Calgary, is it an underrated curling city? And I ask because the bubble, all the big events were here last year.
Yeah, I don't know if that was because of a lot of curling fans here, or more just the
coincidence
that we were able to swing it here in Alberta. But yeah, Calgary is just an amazing sports city, dude. Like actually, Labor Day we went last week. It was awesome, great vibe at McMahon.
Great weather.
Yeah, been lots of Flames games here, and yeah, and anytime we've had a Brier or a big curling event here, fans have been amazing. So I love Calgary as a sports city. I'm not going to say it's as good as Saskatchewan. I still think the best sport fans in the country come from Sasky, being from there, and obviously, being able to go to rider games. And I think that you'll see that at the Olympic trials in Saskatoon. Hopefully, we get all this COVID nonsense under control and figure out how fans can be at the games. And I think if that happens, you'll see a full barn at the SaskTel.
I was going to say they'll fill the barn. There's no doubt for that. So you're coming back. Tell me about this next week for your role. Can you spill
I'm
that?
Excited, actually. Yeah. Curling Canada and Tourism Saskatchewan just asked. I think I'm the only Saskatchewan player in the trials as of now. Obviously, Dunstone has a good chance to get in. They got to go through some qualification still. They haven't got in yet, but they'll be on the bubble. But as of now, there's only 5 men's teams in, and me being from Saskatchewan, they just asked me to come in, and I'm going to go to the Rider game next Friday, which I'm pumped about. Best stadium, the only NFL stadium in Canada, I like to say. So I'm going to go to that and just kind of help promote the Olympic trials up. What is it? Highway 2? No,
11.
Yeah, Highway 2 is Edmonton, Calgary. See, that's how long I've been here.
That's right.
Highway 11 up to Saskatoon, and try and get as many people just kind of aware the Olympic trials are coming and the best curlers in Canada for a spot at the Olympics. So I'm going to go to the game and see my cousins and my brother, take my brother to the game, and have a few beers and cheer on the Riders. Should be a good one.
Well, it's Thunder Hilltops weekend too, right? As you say. So
my brother-in-law Isaac Ford, I got to give him a shout out. 4 touchdowns the first couple games. I never get to see him play because I'm here and they're there, but so I'm going to go watch Thunder Hilltops and be a good alumni on Saturday night as well. So Rider game Friday, Thunder game Saturday, and then I got to Beetle home Sunday morning.
Well, and one more time, there's your plug for the curling trials at the SaskTel Center coming up in November. Tickets on sale now. They must be, huh?
You betcha. Yeah, head to the Curling Canada website. Check out the tickets. Bring out the pom-poms. Going to be a good show. Should be some great action for sure.
Just one more. When you guys were trying to find a way to curl last year, when COVID was somewhat early on, and we're like, well, this should be a sport that lends itself to social distancing, you would think, right? There was talk of an outdoor event at Mosaic Stadium. Could you imagine if the weather cooperated,
it'd be amazing.
Right.
I'd still love to play it. I know they've done it. I know, I think Gushu went over to an event in Russia. They did an outdoor event. I think they've kind of done like one sheeters, but if there was ever a big one where we could do a cash event, the thing is it's so weather dependent. No different than the outdoor classic. Look what happens at those outdoor classics when it's hot and the ice melts. It's a disaster. It'd be no different in the curling, except we wouldn't be able to get the rock down to the other end of the ice. So we'll
or
see.
The other way, minus 47, and your beer's freezing.
Yeah, then we're definitely not playing. I'm going for that one. That's how you blow a hammy quick.
See, finely tuned athlete right here.
That's how you get hurt real quick.
Ben, a plug if you don't mind for Benny and Bo, the podcast. It's going great, eh?
Yeah, it's going awesome. If you guys want to check it out, me and Bo Levi Mitchell have been talking to some great athletes across Canada just about kind of, fun stuff, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of seriousness, talk about their journeys and how they got to where they got to. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Brought to you by Uninterrupted Canada, a company owned by LeBron James and Drake. So I like to pretend like LeBron and Drake are my bosses, although I've never met them. They don't know who I am, but we work for their company.
Not yet.
Not yet. That's right.
All right. Say hey to Bo for me, and please tell him good luck this weekend. Meet
we'll see what happens.
I appreciate you coming down. Good
Okay,
job.
Reddy. Thanks a lot, man.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of the Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.